nhớ rằng sơn cho nu nói giờ nu Wednesday lúc có ở liền tu nu thì có bé xong ở这个下路上呢就có ý mong bé tua nhớ trò hồ state capital nhớ trò state Wisconsin nu nào bé cộng hòa của tụt ra sang Wisconsin giờ lúc cộng hòa và Wisconsin Laboratory of American Incorporation nu nào bé tặng bé tuần chi governor thiên chi ở bé tu cho để cho senator nhớ trò hồ và lúc tổ chức nó nói giờ hồ state capital bé tuần chi governor Scott Walker thiên nữa khả năng trò hồ nó hay cho bé cộng hòa của tụt ra bé tiêu hậu được mình chim chỉ thế chỉ ta lên đó là cũng cho này cho chỉ cho nó cho ở ta bé cùng hậu thế chuyển chuối cho tôi cho nó thế lúc nào bé muốn chỉ im chỉ lấy cho bé muốn trường đạo nó mình xem đã chỉ ta này bé mà lấy tất cả làm chính cả bên này chỉ lấy cho bé thua mình chỉ bé mà lấy một chế trong xe đó cho này cho chỉ cái tên này cho đó vậy nên nhớ tao chế này chỉ là bé tua là chỉ như sở chế sẽ là số lượng số tụ nhớ rồi bé cùng có tụ cho chỉ bé như lúc cùng họ represent cho bé cho lầu cho có tụ cho này cho chỉ và bé sẽ là tôi sao thì ưu tua giờ thân nàyผมน่าปอgiờ tôi phao được này cho bé sẽ là tua giờ lúc cùng là như thế giờ lúc giờ chỉ cho chứ cố nên thế là nữa lúc nào bé tua nó chỉ là bé tua chỉ thả cho hậu được nó im chỉ cho đó chỉ là bé mà thả to thế trong xe thế và cho này cho chỉ cho được tua gì tua lúc nào tôi chỉ cộng cho nó ít bên là bé giờ mình chỉ cho lo rồi hậu thế thì nó cũng giờ và bây giờ nó sửa xong tôi lúc sợ nó cũng sẽ chế lúc còn họ Wisconsin là bây giờ nó rồi cho này cho tí cho nó cho thế cho khả năng sẽ được tôi chi nó thế bây giờ member sẽ được họ biết cùng họ sẽ tôi thế và cho phong dư thế cho khả năng sẽ được cho xong cho tụi thế này dùng xe đó ít dùng sai sẽ được và cho
is the inability to access affordable housing. For many victims, the difference between escalating violence or an independent, safe, and healthy life is the ability to live securely away from an abuser. So programs are always working with victims to secure temporary shelter in crisis situations and then assist them later on to find a more permanent housing situation. And this is not an easy process for victims. Aside from facing legal issues and possible many victims have taken months, financial, even decades in some cases. The perpetrator has systematically limited the victim's access to income, good credit, employment, and other financial resources. So for this reason, we have very serious concerns about several provisions, and I'll make them specific. We really feel that we've been exacerbating that for no fault of the victims will stop them from accessing and maintaining access to affordable housing. So specifically, I would just like to draw your attention to two or three particular sections of this bill. Section 49, which limits the ability of courts to issue a stay on eviction proceedings when the tenant has applied for emergency assistance. The most dangerous period of time for a victim is directly after they take the steps to leave an abuser. Already out of time. I'll try to wrap this up quickly. So emergency assistance is really a critical tool for victims when they're facing impending eviction. And the process to apply and acquire emergency assistance often takes 5 or more days. I know they're supposed to process things in 5 days, but it often takes much longer than that. So by limiting the number of days the stay can be in place, we're really allowing a risk restitution to undo that stay. We're putting a lot of victims directly in harm's way because through no fault of their own, like I said, financial control and experience, they could face eviction because of their inability to access these funds. Second, Section 43, which places restrictions on the ability of case management information to be removed from the court action. We find this incredibly problematic because, as I mentioned, I'm just curious if the person says right up. Sure. You have, but it sounds like you're dealing with it.
You really brought a great crew down today. How many? Yeah, good. I brought enough pins. When do you want me to do that? Should we do that first? We have a little bit of time. We were figuring on 12:30, so it's about.
Yeah, I haven't heard extensive reporting one way or the other from advocates.
I went to Governor at 1 o'clock for the building commission. Your appointment with the governor is set for 2 o'clock.
Always at least taking that.
That's what we have from now till 2 o'clock. In between time, Senator Holmes
we're working with them to get that processed. It's definitely it's not a process that is particularly easy that they're getting their eligibility processed early. It's almost always taking at least 5 days. And I extenuating circumstances. I got it. Further,
Okay, we can wait till I just, yeah, I think what we'll do, I just talked to Senator Fitzgerald. He's the leader of the Senate, but he's in a meeting with the Attorney General's office right now. So when he gets done with that, but you never know how long these meetings last. But when he gets done with that, I'm gonna call him at 1 o'clock because I have building commission at 1 o'clock. And apologies for this being hectic, but it's just the way government is.
Let me talk to my professor. Now, lấy cho chúng tôi tạo cái chuyện cho nó là bé đi xa đến chỉ cao là lo mà họ là mới cho kia rồi bé họ cũng muốn rồi nên cho cũng tốt nên cho lo ít chuyện bao nhiêu chuyện là nó đi xa thì chuyện chỉ mua rồi bé mà mua rồi qua nhà thì chơi xa cả cái cho rồi qua rồi thì nên tí chuyện là ta nên sẽ xa là xa thì nhà chúng mình mua sữa thì không cho giờ nó mới sữa mà giờ nó cho nó cho tại sao nó bé
Because I know he wanted to be here, and he's one of the senators that wants to participate in the burial flags for the Hmong veterans. So they've ordered their flags, the flags are on the way, but they're not here yet. So when Senator Coles gets here, and he represents that area over by Green Bay.
Yeah, we have western Green Bay all the way up to Shawano, down to Icona, and as far west as Clintonville.
So, yeah, that group of Hmong that live there probably know Senator Coles, but he's really a good guy, and he appreciates your service, but instead of me talking, I probably should let you.
No, my apologies for Senator Coles not being here, but he wanted to thank all of you for your sacrifice, and I'm sure that once he's back in Madison, he'll be going over to the Veterans Museum to check out the exhibit, and he said, be sure to say anytime that there's anything that the Hmong community needs, or flags, or just down in Madison, he'd be happy to meet with anyone to talk about issues impacting your community, and again, thank you very much for your service. It's truly incredible to see all of you here today, and hopefully the tour at the Veterans Museum is very interesting and unique.
As you know, the flag issue has been a problem in that the federal government changed the laws. And what it is that veterans have to have a DD 214, that form that said that you served in the war or served in the military. And so it got changed during the Obama administration, and I don't know who to blame for it, but I did talk to our Secretary of Veterans Affairs, and they are looking at talking to the federal people to get that change back. What we plan on doing for now is that the flags are available to the senators in the building, that they can buy them out of their office account and present them to you. And we'll make that work for now, but hopefully we can get back so that you can just go the normal route and get the flags for burial that you certainly are entitled to. There are other issues that we are encouraging the Veterans Administration to take care of. Among them, of course, being able to be buried in a veteran cemetery and everything that goes with that. The Secretary was going to be here today, but like so many people in government, they are going around the state because they have duties that they have to be, whether it be at the nursing homes, the veterans homes, or whatever. The other issue, of course, that you're going to see today is the museum exhibit. And the museum exhibit isn't done. And I will tell you that we did not pass a law to put that in place. But it really is thanks to the Senate Majority Leader, who you're going to meet today, and the Governor, and the Museum Director. Because I went to them and I said, rather than going through this whole business of trying to pass a law and trying to make an appropriation, let's just do this and get it done. And so they were willing to take money out of existing accounts and put up the monitor. And like I say, it's a work in progress. Our goal is to add a number of things, including a tribute to General Vang Pao, including more of a educational section, so that all the young people coming here and going through that museum are going to know and understand what happened in Vietnam, what happened in Laos, and the sacrifices that were made by the Hmong and the dedication that they had to this country. I know that sometimes you don't feel that your service is appreciated, but it is. And a lot of the veterans that served in Vietnam have a heartfelt appreciation for all of you. With that, I'd like to turn it over to Pat Snyder and have him say a little bit, and then we'll kind of determine, and hopefully I can call Senator Fitzgerald and he can make it down here. Thank you.
Well, it is an honor for me to be able to be here with all of you today. And as Senator Petrusky said, thank you so much for your service, what you have done for this country, for our warriors that were over there, and you stepped in so bravely and made the ultimate sacrifice. And now we're in the process of making sure that not only that you have the honors of the museum and to be remembered for that, but I think what's so important, what Senator Petrusky said, is to educate. Educate our kids coming up through high school about the true story of what happened in Vietnam and the sacrifices that you and your countrymen made to help us through that war, and the transition to come to this country and to be so successful in building on what you have built on. So I'm so happy to be part of this process. I support everything that we're doing to help you, not only here in the state, but up in the Wausau area as well, and all areas, to make sure that your recognition is high. And I look forward to working with all of you here in the future, and I'm so glad to be here today with you to tour and take part in this ceremony. Senator?
Thank you, Pat.
Thank you, Pat.
Now, do you have any questions for us?
Ni tu semua luar cinu kapata.
Saturday nak tahu macam mana?
Ya, kita kan samurai kalau pata sudah terbiasa sekian. Okay.
We take complaints too.
Yeah. But hati
Pat takes the complaints.
Yeah, I hand them off.
Yeah. Ini mana dia one day the judge ma thầu có là ta chỉ tập ăn nó lốp lang là nó long đôi trái là. One day tu nâng tu do tao chạy judge là mình do chủ do dự to họ áp bộ của flow ta chỉ mà sẽ để cho là ship là mà lấy tất cả hải đua lò để sẽ judge nữa của tao tất cả là đồ này ta chỉ nó mua rồi. Lấy mua đồ này chỉ ta chỉ mà tao đến nó là mà lấy tất cả hải đua chứ. Ta sẽ chạy được của tất cả mua judge nữa tất cả là đồ judge cũng tu ta chỉ khai à. Họ hạt sao lu museum nhất đồ họ nó mà bây giờ cháu quan lúc này thì chỉ mà ta chỉ nó chạy mà chỉ tao pan chỉ là tao qua hồi cái nhà thiệt cả họ nó một pan một lò mà chỉ qua cả trong chợ nó tiền tao đồ họ nó một cái rồi chỉ tao đồ này chỉ là chỉ cho cái này tụi tiền chỉ lấy những trong này tụi tiền chỉ và này ba sao cho tao lúc tiền thì là ta chỉ mà lý do là ship bằng này phải nhập qua cháu được nó cả ba tụi này sẽ được cái cú sớm mai không này thì nó sẽ cú chèn tao đồ này sẽ được cái này từ họ mua đồ là chỉ nó là họ nung này thiệt khác chỉnh chỉnh xin nói được khô chỉ to họ nó nung Florida ta chỉ nung tụ phơi lòng to tụ mà họ lựa chọn nung to họ nó là ta nung hay này sẽ chỉ nhất là ta chẳng quên về nữa nung giấy tụ papa bây giờ mong giờ đồ tao lại thiệt mà đã chỉ là này họ lựa cái chỉ đồ nung chỉ ít liền nó anh nó tụตัวแต่เราจะสัมผัสอย่างเราจะฟิชเชอร์เนี่ยเราคนไหนเปลี่ยนที่เราจีนิชดังจะแค่โดนิชดังป้อนนี่นะจะถึงมันว่าจีน
Thành quay qua nó có biết cái tụt tròi ra nhà mình hạ chỉ họ chỉ tụt lâu chụp ăn rồi có họ giáo tập đấy chứ
ok
nhà giáo tập
cái hải đó về
we are Jasa,
Okay.
then
Jasa from across.
Yarakro.
Yeah, Jasa from across.
We are to
Question that in the
one.
past, based on he understood the, anyone who passed away, they always have the American flag there. But he doesn't know why and what the reason that the law doesn't pass and now the laws been go back and now they don't, it doesn't have the flag there.
And it had to do with the Form DD 214. Somehow, I'm told, during the Obama administration, one of the secretaries tried to tighten down maybe on budget or whatever, and thought that they would connect the flags to the DD 214. And so when they did that, a lot of the Hmongs that didn't, even though they fought for America, they were not given the status of being in the United States Armed Forces. And so they never got a DD 214. And everything is dependent on that 214, on that form. Whether we like it or not, that's where we are. The goal of the Secretary is now to go back to the Department of Veterans Affairs and say, this is not good, this is not how it's supposed to be, we want you to change this back because it doesn't make no sense, and American citizens who are now citizens are being deprived of getting a flag from this country, a casket flag, a soldier's flag, whatever you want to call it. So for now, we are going to try to fill in by getting a flag from one of the senators, but our goal is to turn back the clock the way it used to be. As much as I'd like to say I want it changed right now, I don't have a whole lot of standing with the federal government. Maybe I have a little bit with the state, but we can solve the problem temporarily the way we're doing it now, and maybe it'll go that way for years, because sometimes the federal people don't seem to get a lot done. I'm hopeful that we have a resolution to this problem.
นี่ต่อจังเตียมาเชียร์เลยจะสามารถเราต้องใช้ตัวอย่างนั้นตัวอย่างนั้นมายืดตัวแกนเอาปกกล้องนั้นเทียบจิตาเลยนะยังมีเนี่ยเจียอย่างนี้นะตัวอย่างยกจุดผ่านเขาจะแกเอาปกกล้องหล่อมาเลยที่เลยเมื่อตัวแกที่เราจะหลับมุกเราเชื่อได้จะที่เรามาทำธรรมดามาญาติเขาตลอดแล้วมาเลยเมื่อเราต้องใช้มาบีส่วนหลับว่าเสื้อเนี่ยจะแกเอาปกกล้องที่เจียเลยปวดตลอดอย่างนี้นะเขาต้องตัดสินตามได้เรามูลนั้นมาเชื่อได้นี่ในตัวเลขานุการเขาอย่างนั้นกระทรวงอย่างนั้นผู้ตุลาไปเป็นนี่มุ่งจีนในมาเลเซียตะการมันเราเลยชิดทะเลว่าชิดจัดจะแกเนี่ยว่ากับทอไว้มาเลยเชื่อพอตอนจะจีนตะการเราจะผู้ตุลารู้ใช่ว่าในปีนี้
There's something else I'd like to say. I want to especially thank you for bringing your wives along. And I know you couldn't all come, but I also want to thank them because, you know, a man is sometimes as strong as the women behind him. And you also played a role in the service that your husbands have done for this country. So thank you all, and thank you for coming.
เนี่ยตอนนี้จะเนี่ยเจ๊ที่ว่าชอบจะจีนได้มั่วเป็นสื่อว่าตอนเราอยากได้ยาต่อจากเกิดเช่นนั้นตัวปันเนี่ยแต่ว่าชอบตัวนี้จะเนี่ยเจ๊วันนี้ตัวทุ่งนอนเลย
I also want to tell you when we get to the governor's office, I think it would be really nice that when we take the pictures of all of us with the governor, that we could also take one with just the veterans, you know, as a real small group or a smaller group.
Governor will come here or we are
No, we're going to his
office? Okay.
อีเพียจะได้เซ็นต์เปโตรสกีให้ได้เจอีเพียมาไปที่จ้องเราจะเป็นเราต่อก็มันห้องกันตายเยอะแต่อะไรเยอะแยะก็เลยไปมั่วไฟว่าไปป้ายกับอีหน่วยเชิญมีเชียมันที่เรายังรู้ที่สวนสดแล้วนะ
We're going to meet back here 1:30.
Just give me.
This way, guys.
Thank you.
also good to see some of my old friends from when we first started this project. I'm also joined by Ellen Brooks. Here, some of you may know Ellen. Ellen is our oral historian, and she was responsible for compiling the interviews and managed that project, which, of course, composes most of the exhibit, the oral history. So I've asked Ellen to come down to answer any questions you may have about how we went about putting that together and her experience doing that as well. Okay. And then I'd also like to thank you
Yeah, so
for this
today,
wonderful gift.
yeah, today I get this book for you. General Van Toy. It's a good story there. And also the video, I need to you to look at this one before.
Okay.
Yeah, after I will talk to you. Yeah, discussion.
Very good, very good. You bet.
rong xia nè thì rong xia tao sai nè sẽ số lượng số đồ tốt hơn nó là dân hữu rong sẽ là nó cứ rong xia tao bỏ cho quốc phong như họ phí họ project nó là sao cho nên nó nè nó là nè sẽ là cứ sản xuất gì thế Ellen cứ vậy tôi và là một xài cho luôn thế chỉ ta lên đó là một mua cho cán cử nó cho là một ok cho nên tôi sẽ nó chỉ vậy như cái số tiền nó nè cho đi xuống cho sẽ là nè không mua luôn nữa chỉ là nó Ellen tao vậy thế.
Very good. Now, I don't have an agenda for today, so would you like to just go into the exhibit? And I don't know if everyone has seen the exhibit or not.
I think some did, some don't.
But I'll let Ellen explain a little bit about the process, and then kind of hang around for questions. If anybody has any questions, certainly.
All right, it looks like everyone's here. I'll tell you a little bit about what we did here with this display. We also have a display case where we have some artifacts from some of the Hmong that we spoke to for this exhibit. But because, as I'm sure most of you all know, a lot of the Hmong who are here in Wisconsin, they don't have a lot of things from their time in Laos. A lot, obviously, refugees. So you folks all know this. So we don't have a lot of things, which is why we kind of focused on stories, which is what I'll show you.
Họ nói là ta trả cho nói ta trả và lấy cho là một sự kiện trong thời lúc xưa và cho Việt Nam và ta xin nói cho không và lấy cho là một số trong nó thì những nhà ít xe không là nói những cái lý cho không và là khởi giá có cũ lọ thế và nhất trong được nó thì là cứ sáng chế cho đan nên cho nó cho mình tương nhiều tôi sai thì sự phần đầu lúc xưa thầu và lấy qua khó project để nó mà chương trình tao mua cho và đi cho xí và lấy giống mua cho đan nên tao cho nó thì chương trình tao mua thế giờ không tao sự chế hay gì nhá giá thủ cái những sự mua lọ là sẽ.
So this is the display that we created using interviews that we did with the Hmong, the veterans from SGU. So I'll show you how it works.
Dạ, họ nói với ý và cho đến nên và cho trồng cho sự đời cho nên cho sự do tôi sẵn sàng treo để cho tôi cho nó họ nói hay thì lúc xưa họ thầu cho và nhá lan rồi và họ qua lý trả là họ cánh cử.
So we did about 15 interviews, and then we took different topics from the interviews and we put them into topics here on the screen. So people who are visiting the museum can tap on these different topics and they can hear these stories. So I'll just play one or two for you.
Lỡ một câu chuyện tôi và cho cô tôi cho là sản phẩm họ lòi chỉ là cho là một trò kia trong đời nó. Cái giờ thì nên sẽ tôi cho họ nói nếu xí nó chỉ đến xí à lên được xí nó chỉ nên họ là cho đan.
Ellen, can I add something there?
Yep.
เขาเป๊ะว่ามาเป็นเทียนนี่จับผู้ตัวจะจ้องเนอะแต่สิมาวิธีเขาเดียเป๊ะว่าเชื่อจีต้องการว่าจะได้หนึ่งหล่อที่เขาเป๊ะว่านะเจว่าหายยาเดียเป๊ะจีต้องมาจะช่วยยังเราเจ้านะแล้วเขาเป็นเทียเขาสิเจอเป๊ะyaเขียนตัวจะเป๊ะจีมัวจะของเราตาจะเป๊ะเทียมัวไม่แต่สิเขาเนี่ยเขาปีเสื้อนี่ถือสารจอนี่จะได้หนึ่งตัวนะเจนี่มัวโชว์ดังกี่เจนี่มาเจ้าตัวเขาเนี่ยเอเลนที่ไม่เงินมาเนี่ยมัวเจ้าตัวเขาเจเขาเนี่ยเขาถอดเป๊ะเรามวยกูเทียเอเลนเทียคริสเทีย mai thế bé giờ cho và tăng cho nó bé schedule to Ellen thế Chris cái một sản phẩm nên nó bé cho cụ tôi cho trong này này ít tôi rồi này cả tao này ra đan này này
thì tổng đây này bé và sau đó cái gì tôi cho trong này là ok dùng nó này có pi gì đó tôi rồi
So I'll just play a part of one, and then you folks can kind of come around and play your own.
cũng tất cả tới đó xong hậu sĩ ba là cả cái trong sáng trâu trâu chua thì nhớ là tôi đó lòng tranh là nè tôi cho nhau lòng tranh tụ cho lòng học nhau thì ban đầu lòng tranh tới chỉ một cái cần tới lâu để sao tới là tới ta tới sự của nhà thật phong ta
ini tu sa ka ni ra dan nang cho cho nyo je ni cho tu che ho no ne khana pe ta ko pe wo ni pe khani ra dan nang go sa ko pe to ha
nó cái hai lồng mông thế này thâu bé ô tô là bây giờ sao mà
nó to sam pha mong tu ni ta si cho dan nang ho
nhớ là tôi cho hai chỉ là tôi muốn cho ta để xem là team hoặc cho anh chị.
So that's just an example. You can come watch more. And if you have any questions, we have other. This kind of explains the story of the war. This is where we talk about General Vang Pao. And this is a soldier, or this one is an American soldier talking about being rescued by the Hmong. So a couple different viewpoints of what the Hmong did.
họ này họ cho nói chuyện ya bị chữ và họ đối này để cho lịch giả sử để sự họ nói mua block họ thay đầu ít họ chỉ biết sao xin năm phầnว่าbỏ sử ít họ chỉ biết sao có cho nhớ là họ ít họ chỉ biết sao để cho ở đấy và cho mình can và nên tao phải chờ lấy trong xe một lịch giả lấy thả sang tới giờ trong này nó họ để tới lúc sửa này không lấy nên mà lấy lòng một sai mà lấy khó là sao
Great, so I'm going to get out of the way, but if you have questions, let me know.
mà pe cho lo pe lên chân này pe chỉ vô này kinh nghiệm cái này họ pe cho nó chỉ pe cho lo cho và thiên nhiên là một cái tao khá là tu nên rồi chứ chỉ cú giờ tu tận họ project tu xin đó chỉ cú giờ tu xong đó thiên nhiên đó là tu nên pe chỉ cú nên thiên nhiên cái họ thì họ peว่าแต่เล่นได้หนูตรงนี้pe sao là khởi này ra đóตรงนี้chứ chỉ rồi pe à họ nói những họ chỉnh chơiนี่sắp chơi chơi nhiệt chứ So his question is about money. That do they have to pay some money? So I told him that no, they don't have to pay any money.
No money, no, not at all.
ok để khác rồi mà chỉ cái mà lúc chạy nó thì
Bây giờวันนี้เขามาเมื่อยังเลยนะเมื่อท่านหนักตู้จะเมื่อซ้อจะเมื่อช่องแค่เมื่อSenator Petrosky จะเมื่อไม่เมื่อเอเลนเมื่อคริสเที่ยเมื่อเอาไปตัวจีตัวเขาเนาะเอาไปจะเราหมู่ปีรู้เนาะเที่ยแต่สิกูอยากดูตัวรู้เนาะเที่ยอยากดูปีตัวเสาเนาะ
可能要主要每一来看 member 们动家多了要了这多这动家少了要
ไปนี่ปริญญาไม่แบบพุทธตาตามที่เสีย
ต้องการค่ากับพวกก็เพื่อ
นี่พวกเวนิสาอริจานะเจนี่มาเลยเป็นมาชีคณะกับอุณเสือกับยงยีตรงนี้
mà chạy mà đây hung nó cắt thẳng trong cha sẽ phát hành nó tốt thì
ประธานตัวที่ยังนอนที่ป้องจะตรงกันนะก็สิเป็นจุดตั้งตัวนี้แล้วมาตัวเป็นมาจอเอเลนน่ะเอเลนจะตัวสัมพันธ์นี่ญาติด้านหนึ่งเทียบไทยจะด้วยนะตาไหนนอนเลยก็ค่าช่วยดูโอเคเกตตาไหนนะจิตก็
có một tao bỏ họ hay để nhớ hồi YouTube để Mong Central Valley để là TV nó yang de họ hay để Mong Cổ Xia nó number G A một số G C
这倒不知道ใช่
có một số họ de mua họประวัติชื่อตัวแห่งจะมีของตัวแห่งเที่ยวว่าแล้วตัวแกตัวมีการหลักเคลียร์จ่อให้เดียวเท่าว่ายาลาใจลีลูยหงเนาะ
เขาก็不知道ใช่แต่เขาไปวันนั้นไปสัก
อีตัวนึง
ไปสักปอนนี่แค่นี่ตัวแข่งตัวเขานั้นมันยังเคยเจนเด่นน่ะ
Đó.
cho tôi chọn xài cho tôi cần phải thằng này tôi lấy cho bỏ nên tôi xong tận đến đây cho mình nhồi thế rồi lấy chỉ bỏ tới sẽ lấy tôi xem cho giờ này tôi khen là giờ lấy bỏ tới lấy giờ này chắc đã đừng quật trò như hồn này
Giờ cái khai do tôi khen
họ nó khó biết qua đồ này xưa
giờ cho đã năng sức mình chỉ bơ là họ nó cho thứ nó biết chơi trong đó nó
thì ra họ chân nó là khó biết mà tôi khó tí xíu này họ đồ này
có xét rồi nó cũng sao được
tôi phải tôi biết cho này thì tôi được không có cái đồ là thật luôn mà biết tôi cho họ lên tôi học tôi bay là biết học rồi đó thì cho tôi đi sau nó biết phải đi sau gì đầu đến
Luônที่อ้อจะเป็นโปรดจอกเลยนะ ท่านนอนพักกี่เดียว
This is the head of the 18 clans. Very good. This is Long. These are all members of the Hmong Veterans of Wisconsin.
Thank you very much for your service.
This is
Very much appreciated.
And this is Nashua, he's the head of the Veterans Group. This is Senator Fitzgerald, Scott Fitzgerald. He is one of the very most powerful people in the building next to the governor. He controls the whole Senate. And when I wanted to do that flag issue that we talked about, because you weren't getting the flags from the federal government, I went and saw Scott first, because he controls everything on this side of the Capitol, and he was willing to step up and make sure that we found a way to get you the flags for the funeral services and that. So it's really thanks to Senator Fitzgerald. They call him the majority leader.
thank you
Thank you very much.
and I hope that you will work for us.
Yes, sir.
Talk about the flag. We got a problem right now. Service for the veteran.
Right.
Why I have to so now that he gives some to me and I put it on my office. And I believe now that the 607 is still now. But in the future, so it should be need more than that.
But
Very good.
Cole's office is gonna get him some. I got some. There are a number of our senators, if they're asked, they can now do it.
Okay.
They maybe would like to know a little bit about you and how long you've worked here.
Sure.
Where you're from.
Do you have a business card or a business?
I do. I can get you one before I leave the building. I'll do that for you. Yeah. No, Senator Petrusky has been wonderful to work with, and he's being somewhat humble. He had obviously just as much to do with the flag issue as I did, but thank you very much for being here today in the Capitol. I hope you enjoy your stay. Yeah, I've been in the State Senate for 24 years. My district is thank you. Yeah, thank you. And my district is a east-west district between Madison and Milwaukee. So still pretty rural, but in the southern part of the state. And I also am a veteran. I served 27 years in the Army Reserve. So I really appreciate your service, and I've had wonderful experiences over the years with veterans that have been here at the Capitol, or many that I worked with and were deployed. And when I joined in 1981, many of the servicemen that were part of the reserve program at the time were Vietnam veterans, men and women who had come back.
And they obviously served honorably, and we were able to, it's been good to be a legislator here in the Capitol because you have the ability to really make a difference and help those veterans. So, so certainly, just wanted to thank you for being here today. Lieutenant Colonel, I retired as a Lieutenant Colonel, yep. So I had a battalion command, was my last assignment, and I enjoyed my time in the service, enjoyed the men and women that I worked with, and you know, it's a unique way to serve the country.
If you don't mind, so you both, I need to say something to my video over here, and I'll keep my record in my office. My camera set.
Sure.
You have because we have a lot of groups that stay at home, they not show out here today. But sometimes like you come into my office, so I got open for anybody to see that for my all veterans record.
Right.
Maybe you'd also like to introduce them to your advisors
Definitely,
and board.
My name is Major, right?
Nice to meet you, sir.
Yeah.
Former Major. Very good.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
And once a major, always a major.
That's right. That's right. Sir, how are you? Nice, very nice to meet you. Thank you. Yeah.
And this is my uncle.
Your uncle? Are you serious?
Well, he looks just like my uncle.
Looking at their colleague.
My uncle's gone, but I adopted him, so he's my new uncle.
I gotcha. You can never have too many uncles. How are you, sir? Nice to meet you.
He's my advisor in our organizations.
Okay. Very good. Very good. Sir, how are you? Nice to meet you.
I'm the former president of Wisconsin.
Oh, very good. Very good. Very good. Well, thank you all for being here today. It's an honor to meet with you, and Senator Petrusky's doing a great job keeping me in the loop. Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. Yeah. Oh, is this on camera? Okay, that'd be fine. Yeah. Okay.
American things, and sometimes we remember us.
Okay.
This is the symbol. And the red ones represent the Lao flag, and Lao freedom flag. The yellow ones represent the Vietnam veterans, and Lao connects to the Vietnam veterans part of that too.
Wonderful.
Yeah. It's a we fight in the same war.
Wonderful.
Yeah, that's a bless you. God bless you.
Thank you.
Happy New Year and Merry Christmas.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Very good. Thank you all for being here. It was very nice visiting you. Have a good day. Yeah. Thank you, Senator. Thank you. Yeah.
Good to see you, Senator.
We can go up now to the governor's conference room.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Senator. I think by the time we get up there, we'll be right on time.
Để thoát tàu là trong này là quân chính là chấp
From
here, go over to the conference room, which is another beautiful room in the Capitol. and then we'll go right out the door and then down one floor to the governor's office. We don't have a lot of time, so we have to move right along.
Summary ว่าเป็น trustee ให้เดียห้องนอนอย่าง governor chambers แล้วเราชิดอยากใจของเราที่ปอดจะต้องเราจะใจมาจ่อย่อขบหลานนอนอย่าจ่อแล้วพอเดี๋ยว minority leader จ่อย่อตัวชั้นโตแล้วมัน majority leader เราจะจ่อว่าหนึ่งมาออกไปหนึ่งเลยเสร็จแล้วแต่เป็น trustee ลูกต้องมาอย่างย่อตัวชั้นเป๋เราจะจ่อ majority leader แล้วนั่นเดี๋ยวลูกเราอย่ารถสภาเกณฑ์นะเจ๊ทอกเราเจ๊เพียบเลยรถต่างกันมาเลยลูกของการด่าไปหมดจีนหนึ่งนะso what yeah they play more yeah the rest of the world เขาเราเพียบยาวสภาเราแค่ชิดยาว
Carvings to the paintings. If you happen to notice, on the wall and the ceiling here, there is an inscription. It says, "The will of the people is the law of the land." This room is somewhat dear to me, because when I was first elected, I was summoned up to the governor's office with the new elected representatives. And Tommy was governor back then. And so Tommy sat at the head of the table, and I sat where the shoe is. And the governor, he reached over and he grabbed me by the shoulder and he pointed to that inscription on the ceiling. And he impressed upon me, he said, "Jerry, read that. The will of the people is the law of the land. That's what we're here for, that's what we do, and that's what we're going to accomplish." And this has always been my favorite room in the Capitol ever since then. Now, I don't know if I need a translator for all of that, but Long, what do you think?
What? Yeah, they'll pay close attention to that. When Hobby may have their pollution, Senator Petrosky to hold the Chichenio Honati, Lieutenant Governor Thompson, Tom Thompson, ya to what the Queen weekend. Can you take care on Senator Petrosky had a congestion on the Nayalu, Lutator, the land of the opportunity, Yalutator, you don't are motifi, Nana. The Hanaku, Timemedoni, Lalu Knock, Ketoni, Women had their need to sort to Totalutator, the land of the opportunity, Yalutator, and motifi.
That's it?
That's it.
That's it. Pardon? Isn't that the way it should be? We won't tell that to the governor, though.
Future.
No,
So, Pinya Warsaw, okay, we make the in Warsaw. Pinya Warsaw, the pay out to all the chapter patent, the point you don't cut it. Senator Petrosky, the Pet Snyder, you have to supply down there, to not supply soon, your whole honor, pay out to the yacht when you pay all the she hang, who can't go, your point you just young, not a duck, pay your point you know.
As long as I have 2 minutes, I would like to tell you something, and maybe you want to translate. We live in a time when people are having a hard time getting along. They seem... You turn on the TV, everybody is arguing, everybody is fighting. It has been my experience in life that if you can find a way to unite people, that you can get them to pull together towards the same goal. I don't care if it's in business, if it's in the military, whatever, or in your family.
tốt cho những làm đồ này giàu những nó trên đường lên từ là cái liền.
But when people are pulling together, great things happen.
Ta chỉ professional ok, họ được lên theo gọi là cảnh tiếng chủ sĩ.
Talking about great things happen. I really want to thank the governor for taking time out of his schedule because he is very busy and he's around the whole state, around the whole world a lot of times, promoting Wisconsin to make our community, our state, the best in the world. And personally, I want to thank the governor because I've been fortunate enough to know him for a long time. When I served back in the assembly, he was in the assembly. And he has done a great job for Wisconsin with cutting taxes, with increasing employment, with a whole number of things. But what I'd really like to thank him for today is when we wanted to do the museum project to make sure that the Hmong were recognized and thanked for their service during the Vietnam War. The first person I went to see was Governor Scott Walker. And we didn't do legislation and all the rest that goes with that. We went to the governor, and the governor says, let's make it happen. And just like with the flags, I went to see the governor about finding a way that we could do this, even though our federal government sometimes falls short. The state of Wisconsin can find an answer. We're about finding solutions, and it's really, Scott Walker's about finding solutions for all of us. And so with that, I know the governor's very busy. He has agreed to distribute pins to some of you, but I think I'd like him to say a few words about whatever he'd like to say and wish all of you a happy and very Merry Christmas and a blessed New Year. Governor?
Well, thank you. Please be seated for a minute. I'll go back around and make sure I say hi to everybody before we depart. And tell me if it's easier. I'll pause back and forth if you want for interpretation. But we are honored to have you here today, and we appreciate your presence. I have out on the table, and actually behind Mr. Snyder here as well, some gifts I've had from the Hmong community when I was the Milwaukee County Executive that I still have even as governor. So I thought it was appropriate to bring them in.
Để dùng xét tại toàn nation này của không nó khi nó nation này có hay để cho ban đầu rồi để số trong nó theo nhau rồi này để cả nó nhà lúc sẽ này qua hôm này nhau rồi làm nhiều kỳ là một phút rồi này còn này những khác khi in giao cho được tiền gì hôm này trong nation này.
And I appreciate you all being here today. I particularly appreciate as well your state senator. Jerry and I have been friends for a good long time, and I know he is a fierce, fierce advocate for the Hmong community, not only in north central Wisconsin, but all across the state.
Cái con này tiền đồng xe cái này tôi chỉ những hôm nào theo các kinh nghiệm chấp là nhà senator Petrosky giải tụ của họ lên đó nên cái này nên thế là cho sẽ là tôi chỉ những hôm nào.
And I've known Representative Pat Snyder for a long time as well, back when he was on the radio, and now serving in the legislature, and he's become a great advocate as well.
Chỉ ta lên đó những Representative Pat Snyder dắt của ta là nên coi tụ hai lục đồ sát tông, cho ta xin hôm nào mình giải tụ là sẽ chế của họ lên cho họ trồng quỹ dạng cả.
It is an honor to welcome you all today, but particularly those who helped partner with the United States during the Vietnam War. We cannot thank you enough for your service to the United States through the time in Vietnam and since then.
Donation này ấy cho một trên chặt trên gì qua cho trong phía America shippa galu te chơi lọt ra đông đông te xong đông tala là lọt ra đông nó donation cho.
It's part of the reason why it's so important to have the exhibit that Mr. Petrosky talked about at the Wisconsin Veterans Museum to make sure that not only our veterans, but particularly the children and families that go through that museum can see that display and understand the significance that you and others like you have had, particularly here in Wisconsin.
Hắn nói thế giới đầu tiên chỉ chính ở bây giờ ra khởi ní ra bên nội địa cho nên là Senator Petrosky thế này hay đôi cú hay tiệc cà phê chủ làm một quay lúc chế khởi đa nừng khởi ní cho đa nừng tiệc hắn nói bên kia làm một hắn nói khởi ní cho đa nừng tiệc họ cả ý hắn cho nên đầu tiên chỉ ở bây giờ và lúa kê và trao đổi nhau tao là lúc museum và mua nhất trong đàn là ní sẽ được.
It's part of the reason why I had this so make sure you get a chance to see that, because that's a good representation of a part of that history And well, I'm proud to have that given to me as a gift and still have that as your governor.
也可能这一样的来，多年到顶了，也一靠贴到还的都建议他古些，那么我就可以呢，那么我一靠 complete 不了古，我可以接我那些来读。
Most of all, thank you for your role in protecting our freedoms.
一靠真正我那些来做到我呢，到地台被做给我呢，那个样中个被么做给这些。
This room is filled with paintings, particularly those behind, that tell the story of the American Civil War.
这里呢，把这多了搞nhau做好了了，要点nhau做好了，要贴找路这，然后我找上看革命，nhau路得去了。
And so it's appropriate to be in this room to say thank you to our veterans who protected our freedoms so that not only we, but our children and our children's children can continue to celebrate those freedoms here in Wisconsin and America for generations to come.
也看到这些一路地，要在政府都找出来，出错人错多，我们这些了大路得去，搞对面都没牛啊，多找人得多找了个，要找出来都检查，我这些了大路得去，都得去我们干了，一样的呢。
And so from my family to yours, blessings during the holiday seasons, and may you have a wonderful new year in 2018.
看到出生了的古真人，古啥还一拉路，他都从根本到那些的个路这，你那路上了，路这你那搞里那个是的，那看见种，他主动从根本到那。
So.
And they're going to run the table.
Yeah, well, I think they'd like to do some presentations to you.
Please.
Captain Nashua Jung, would you be first?
Yes.
Maybe surround yourself with whoever you'd like to do the presentation with.
Okay. Maybe translate a little bit for me.
Yes, please.
Mr. Governor, it is my pleasure to meet with you today, and I'm the representative of the Hmong Council of Veterans.
我哋要求就是通常在国家比较多的大很多些政绩啊，譬如我到亚的30大的是怎么说的好，安在那带了就因为我们在那头也在搞你发现在那些对亚就丢过来。
This is my honor to thank you for your time. I know that you have this busy schedule. There are many things that we'd like to discuss about our proposal, but I know that you don't have much time, so everything we will put down here in this letter, so I'll present this to you.
对亚就被这啥的，当地呢被这万八的地我都讲。
And there are many other things in the future that we would like you to support and help us working together.
比如呢，因为这个呢，就我你还在这么就的是把你在古马考研究的。Yeah, this was general event possible. I think that all the Hmong story, very nice story, general here. So this was presented for you. And if you have time to take a look, a lot of the picture and history and all the Hmong people who the colonel and represent or during the Vietnam War. Yes, in this. That's a nice book.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you very much. That's a great, it's a beautiful.
Yeah, and also this is my picture. I have my story. And also.
Oh, yes.
Any trouble?
Okay. Which way goes?
Yeah, this is
right?
Can I take one picture? Yeah, hold that.
Sure, yeah, please.
This lobby to I need my advisors. I understand. Then up to how take the one I want to put that up. Okay. You ready? Just keep. I need you here too. Yeah, that's a little important. Okay. Just take a picture.
Okay, now we gotta. Let's see, one more.
former president of the Mongol Veterans Lord schools will be working with the museum president. And also, Sam will play the instrument a little bit. And we also, and we also have a gift from South Yen last year. Over there.
I brought it, my wife, all year. You have to pass.
Very nice.
They show you. They show you pass. They show you. It's too big.
Oh, maybe.
I make one for you. My wife make it, not me. Good. You look pretty handsome, right?
Good thing I didn't eat too much for Thanksgiving.
Yeah. No. That's for you.
All right. I think you want to governor.
Nice.
Yes.
I like it.
Very nice. Yes.
Excellent.
Very
nice.
The next thing is the governor's agreed to do at least a partial presentation on the Wisconsin pins as a special remembrance of today. So maybe you want to start on that side of the table. Wherever you like, doesn't matter. Big quarter. Yes, that would be great. Thank you. We're all in the little separate packages here. My fingers are for bigger things.
Ah, nice.
You just take them out of plastic bag.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Beautiful.
So you're pretty handsome.
Action shots if you need them.
Ready? Smile. Come
I know
on.
that you've been waiting for this day for a long
Breathe
time,
in.
but sometimes the government directs all
Yes, please. Love it. Here. Je sais pas, t'es moi, chocolate. Je sais pas, t'es déjà. Thank
you. Congratulations.
Thank you. How long?
Oh, you are welcome.
Good to see you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And also, taking for Governor Dindoi in the county here.
Excellent.
Yes.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Bây giờ cho nó gì? Cái pin nào? Cái pin của chuột gì? Cái pin nó của chuột gì?
Quật dầu.
Chít dầu lại.
Nó còn đau.
Cái này chỉ trâu lúa nào bật trâu này.
Chỉ bút theo. Cho nó nhiều tiền quá.
Chỉ trâu lúa sẽ là xếp bật trâu đi trả lại.
Ủa là số cho nó nít gió tôi lá.
Chỉ ạ. Các cái
Sure, sure, sure.
Chít dầu này.
Thì là tao nó lại. Đây chít dầu giá chít dầu chỉ mà nó gì? Chỉ nó muốn những cái mà cho. Những món ăn có mặt chót luôn. Cảm ơn chị.
Do we have some more? The pin?
Tiếp tục học. Hiểu. Tao cho này. À, there you go.
Do we still have some more pin?
Let you step there. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I was here since 1979. Yeah.
Thank you for your service.
And my son retired.
Oh, you want to put on that? You thought you told us, but put on that.
Yeah, yours.
Bây giờ để cấp tệ đó.